it doesn't matter what you look like. Everyone looks so different in elite sport, like weightlifters, rugby players, us, like, but we're so good at what we do.
Yeah.
So why change that?
You get weighed and they pinch your skin. And I remember dreading that. The coach at the time goes, right, okay, if any of you put on weight now, you're going to have to pay for the nutritionist flight out to Mallorca because, you know, you've like wasted all the time if you put on weight. You are quite the Tim Tam fan.
Yes, you have not done a TIM TAM SLAM.
Oh no, Tim Tam everywhere. That was genuinely so much better than I thought it was going to be. I've got chocolate around my mouth. Shemai Emma.
Shemai Manon.
And welcome back to Watts Occurring Femmes, brought to you by Rouvy, hosted by Pinarello. Today, we're getting into the nitty-gritty topic of body image and body positivity within the cycling world and our experiences. And well, we're just going to dive straight in, aren't we?
I feel like we've been speaking a lot about it, like off camera, like here and there. And I thought, yeah, why not just speak about it on the podcast and get into it. So I'll start us off. So I started cycling when I was 8 and got into the sport, loved it. Started growing up with the sport, but I was an endurance rider. So endurance for me, we did a lot of road, did a lot of track, did a lot of not so much gym. And yeah, I think as a 16-year-old, I just wanted to fit in. I just wanted to be, I guess, see what everyone looked like on social media. I wanted to be that image. I didn't want to be too big. I didn't want my arms to be too big or things like that. And for me, that's kind of how I grew up with the sport, like seeing it on social media, seeing it on people's platforms, and the people around me, I guess. And in the moment now thinking back, I thought that was fine. And it is fine. Like if that's how you want to grow up, that's absolutely fine. But looking back now, I would sometimes not fuel properly for a certain ride or post ride or not eat that brownie because I thought I'd be fat.
Yeah.
And looking back now, I'm like, what a silly,
silly
thought. But that's just how my brain was. That's just how I wanted to be. I wanted to fit in. And yeah, that's kind of how I grew up with the sport, and especially being endurance, like it was about who can climb the mountains like as fast as they could, and like lighter is better. And yes, obviously there is a way to that, but you need to be healthy. You need to do it in a healthy way, and maybe that wasn't the right direction for me. And then I converted into sprint, which was a whole different ball game in terms of body image, how you look. You need to be strong. You need to grow muscle. You aren't going to look like the stereotypical girl that you thought you might look like. And that's fine. But in the moment as a 16, 17-year-old, I was like, oh gosh, no.
It's a lot, isn't it?
It is a lot.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to be bigger. In my head, I was like, I'm going to be fat. I'm going to be this. I don't want to look like this. And I remember saying like, I don't want to look like a sprinter. Even they look amazing. Yeah. Like what they do with their bodies is insane. But for me, I was like, no. And that's kind of like how I grew up with the sport. Now, as a 22-year-old, I can definitely look back and be like, that was silly, or why did I do that? But you grow in the sport, and I've definitely learned that it doesn't matter what you look like. Everyone looks so different in elite sport, like weightlifters, rugby players, us, like, but we're so good at what we do. Yeah. So why change that? And
why do we worry about it so much when it's like the optimal for us?
Exactly. Yeah. But as females, we do, and we are conscious about the things we eat and how we look. But I've definitely, as I've grown up, my gosh, I've learned so much. And I hope people listening do learn a lot from what we're going to speak about today, because it is important. But I feel like when you're on the journey and you're doing it, you also learn yourself. Like,
yes, definitely.
Yes, people told me. Yeah. I wouldn't listen.
No.
Because I'd be like, no. Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of like my backstory of where I began and where I'm at now.
Yeah, mine's quite similar to yours. Just like the things you were saying then, like when I first got into cycling, and, you know, I didn't know everything about the sport. I didn't know everything about the fueling and all of that. But you kind of, you know, you see people racing, or you see, you know, things on social media and they're like really, really skinny, and like, I need to look like that to be the best cyclist. And yeah, I just remember doing like stupid things and making such a big deal about the whole sort of fueling and eating and the weight, that it was, looking back, it was like really stupid. And especially like me and some of my teammates at the time, like I remember one of my teammates just having like watermelon day in, day out because it was like low calories and she wanted to lose weight. And even like me, like I remember just like skipping breakfast and going to do like a big ride because I felt like to be like a classics rider, I needed to be really skinny and all of that. And especially like we both did have body compositions where in my head, it's like they measure your fat basically, but there is more to it than that. But you get weighed and you have these like, I don't know if it's still the same, but you have calipers. Like marks and then calipers and they pinch your skin. And I remember dreading that, like absolutely dreading it. And even like if you knew you had it in a week, I'd be like, pretend to go on like an extreme diet because I'm like, oh, it's going to make a difference. In reality, it made absolutely no difference at all. But yeah, it's just like crazy, like the things you do when you were younger. Like obviously now we have learned so much. But yeah, do you still have body compositions? Do you dread them like I did?
So initially I did dread them because I was like, oh, I don't want to be fat or like, so body composition for us, I think it's similar to what it was. You get marks around your body in certain spaces, they pinch your fat and then you get some of it, and that's kind of how you roll. And
how you roll.
Yeah. And me, I used to be like the week where I'd be like, I can't eat this, can't do that, I will not eat this piece of chocolate, it's going to make me honestly. But the more I've learned and the more I've grown, I've learned that like for us, yes, you need fat to produce muscle. Like you need fat to survive, like end of. Like you need fat to be able to go out on 6-hour rides, and carbs are good. And it's definitely, I still struggle today. Sometimes I'm like, oh, like, is that too much? Or am I going to weigh a certain amount? But I've learned a lot from Matty actually. And he, like the boys, I can't speak for all boys, but for him, he's like, I want to be big. Like I want to go into this and like, because skin folds are a measurement. Also, we get measured on muscle too. Yeah. So he's like, yeah, I want to be this weight and be big. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to be skinny. Like, but we do the same thing. Yeah. So why? But it's just our minds and like how we approach things.
Do you think that's like more of a female thing though?
I think we are more like self-con, but also,
I guess like,
I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like from a male's perspective, they want a different type of body to us, even though we're doing the same sort of thing. But it's also like what kind of the world perceives as a feminine body as well.
Yeah, and I guess on social media, I don't see a lot of men talking about body weight or it. Like obviously there are, but I see a lot more in women.
Yes, definitely.
So maybe like that's where it's come from. But now I've definitely learned that in phases you might put on a bit more fat because you're putting on muscle, or in phases you might want to be a bit smaller. Like at the Olympics, oh my gosh, I was too small. I was tiny. Because I was like, I need to be light. Like I need to, at the Olympics, like I went a bit extreme and I just lost.
Was that your choice or was that from like coaches?
No.
And
British cycling have been amazing. Like we now have a knowledge on like why you might have bigger skin folds because you're in this phase. Yeah. But at the Olympics, like I knew everything else to be, but I just wanted to be skinny because I thought, so for us, power to weight is really essential. So get off the line. Yeah. So I was like, oh my God, I need to be like small to get off the line. But I had 7 days of racing. Yeah. So by the time I was done, but I thought I looked great. But like, it's just a weird, but now I've learned, I'm like, I need an extra kilo because I'm stronger. And so like it is such a journey with it, but definitely now like the knowledge we have about calipers and what you look like is better. But yeah, for sure afterwards it's crazy. But how is yours post, like obviously during cycling you had your experiences, how is it post cycling, like going into a different industry? And
it was really hard, and I feel like it's something that isn't spoken about, like going from being a full-time athlete where you're training multiple times a day, you have nutritionists, you have coaches telling you what to do, what to eat, how much protein. And then you just kind of like, I did have a transition period where I sort of phased out of it, but you're then basically left to your own devices. You're not training like an athlete twice a day. You're not eating like an athlete. I was like, oh, I'm not an athlete anymore. I can eat what I want, but really I can't because I'm not exercising as much. And, your body does change a lot when you go from being a professional athlete to not. And I think that's something that I did struggle with a little bit. And especially like being on YouTube and having, you know, putting myself out there and people seeing the changes in my body going from being a cyclist to, well, I'm still a cyclist, but not a professional. And I think it's hard because also people commented on it or felt the need to comment on it. Like, oh, she's put on weight and this and that. And it's like, yeah, it's just hard reading that. And you're like, oh, why do you need to comment that? But it is like a really natural thing for your body. Of course, your body's going to change and that is okay. And it's just kind of readapting and kind of learning, you know, what your new body is going to feel like after being a professional athlete.
Did that affect you a lot? Like seeing people, because obviously you're now in the public eye and like you're putting yourself out there more, like the comments, how did that make you feel? Or
I think I feel pretty rubbish at the time.
Did you read them all and things?
Yeah, and like obviously you put a lot of work into the video you're making, and then you rush to the comment section like, oh, did people enjoy the video? Like, what are they saying? And obviously there's like so many good comments, but then there's always like the not so good ones, and it really frustrates me that those are the ones that tend to be at the front of your mind. And you're like, why? Like, why do I have to remember those? But yeah, it does. But I think like as I've like grown and got a bit older, I've learned to just like be like, well, if like who in the world is going to comment about how someone looks or how much weight they've put on? Like, why would you comment about that? Like, they have to be a certain type of person to kind of say that in the first place. So I've kind of taken it on the chin. I feel like I've got quite tough skin anyway. So yeah, I deal with it. It's obviously nice. I don't think anybody would like reading stuff like that, but yeah, take it on the chin.
Obviously that isn't, and I haven't actually experienced that side of it because I'm just in the sport, and yes, you get comments at racing where you're like, oh, you've got bigger, or people
but more in like maybe that's like in a good way in sprint cycling.
Sprinting, it's like, oh, you look big, and I'm like,
you got muscly legs, you look fast.
It's honestly strange because for us, like, big is good, but when someone like Matty the other day to me said, he was like, you look like really big, but like he meant strong. And I was just like, and before I'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm fat, I'm huge. But then I was like, no, I've actually been working really hard on this.
Yeah. Like, what do you think's like changed that mentality? Have you gone from like worrying about it to being like, actually, no, this is a good thing. Like, I'm in good shape.
I think for me, so something I struggle with in sprinting is torque and producing raw power and being that snappy, explosive person. I've really had to work on, like, for me, developing muscles really hard, whereas some people will look at a barbell and get huge. And I'm like, what? But for me, I'm just like it takes quite a lot. And I think I've learned that if I want to be the best in the world keep being the best, like be like Higher Love Racing, if I want to do that, I need to grow muscle, and I need to like change that approach to it and change how I look at myself. And I think Matty has helped that, and like my teammates and people talking about body positivity now, it's like not a negative thing. I'm surrounded by like, my teammates are amazing at what they do, and I think having that team around you and also understanding nutrition.
Yes, massively.
So for us, protein is huge. Like, I did not realize, but protein every 4 hours, like you need 20
really?
Yeah, honestly,
every 4 hours.
Yeah, like and that's how you maintain muscle. That's how. But I think the narrative around nutrition has changed so much within British cycling, and I think just the knowledge, like having the knowledge to be like, this is fuel, this is what I need, like carbs are good.
I feel like I have so many like stories of when I like first got into cycling, and obviously it's a long time ago before we kind of knew everything about nutrition and what you needed to eat. But I remember like when I first got into cycling, like you go out on a big ride and like one little cereal bar an hour, that was like a good nutrition day. If you can eat a bar an hour, you're gonna survive and you'd be good. But now you need like so much more. And even like I'd go on training camps, like we'd be training twice a day, you know, out in Mallorca, like big miles, and get back and be like starving. And I remember one of my coaches being like, don't have butter on your bread. And just like little things like that. And it's like, that's not going to make a difference. Like, I can have butter on my bread. And also, going on a bit of a rant here, but there was another time on a different training camp in Mallorca where we had a nutritionist come out with us, and we were like being weighed every morning, and she was coming to the buffet with us and monitoring like what we were eating. And we weren't allowed like a plate of salad before our main meal. And
you weren't allowed?
No, we were only allowed like one plate of, it was, Salad's
great. What?
I know, yeah. There's literally nothing in salad. Like, why can't we have that? But at the end of the it'd been like a hard training camp. I was on my knees.
Yeah.
And I think we'd finished the last ride. We were all kind of stood around the team car, and the coach at the time goes, right, okay, if any of you put on weight now, you're going to have to pay for the nutritionist flight out to Mallorca, because, you know, you've like wasted all the time if you put on weight. And I was going on like, not that we had a proper off season, but I was going to Paris for a few days. I was like, I just burst out crying because I was like, but I want to eat a croissant in Paris. Like,
that's
it just
terrible.
Broke me. I feel like it has obviously changed a lot now, but especially like on the road side, like going back 6, 7, 8 years ago, it was very, very different. And it was like, you basically just needed to look skinny, and that was like the best. But it feels like now that there's so much more education on nutrition and kind of like the optimal weight that you need to be and how much you need to eat, it is a lot better. And I feel like you have it like, I feel like you're quite positive around all of this
I think I got so lucky for when I came into the sport and the understanding of it. Like, I've heard so many stories like similar to that of like teammates, and like especially like being sprinters, like we are a power to weight sport, and like it got like so many of my teammates had to do training based off no breakfast, and like
I remember going on like extreme diets of just having like fruit and veg to lose
like
weight,
no carbs, but like, how as an elite athlete, how are you meant to be at the optimal like train? How are you meant to train? Like literally, essentially, like I don't know how, and it's crazy, and like it's so good how much it's developed, but like we said, it can affect people because you constantly have that reminder of like, oh, but if you get that biscuit, you're gonna get fat. But honestly, I am very grateful that I've come into this sport, and like I understand my body more, and I have the right people around me to help have that knowledge. But it does sit with you, and it'll always constantly be there for life, like what you eat, and you're just a bit more aware of.
I think it's like you always, because of like social media, I don't know, do you find yourself always like comparing yourself to other people? Because I feel like sometimes I go on social media and I scroll and I'm like, oh, like I don't look as skinny as them. I don't look as, you know, my legs aren't as small, my arms aren't as small sometimes. And I feel like it can be quite a toxic sort of hole to fall down, that I really try and find myself not falling down. But sometimes you can't help it, because your body it's not just about how it looks. It's, you know, all the amazing things that it's capable of doing and what it's kind of given you.
Yeah, I think so. I used to have a really big issue. I used to hate my arms.
Oh, really
random. Yeah,
I feel like everybody has like one thing that
I was like, do not want big arms. Like and every time I see on my social media all these guys with like skinny arms, I'm like, I want skinny arms. But I think the way, I do, like, I'll scroll on TikTok and see these amazing girls looking insane. I'm like, I wish I looked like that,
but they couldn't do 2,000 watts.
If I looked like them, I couldn't
do your job. I
couldn't do it.
No.
And I think that's how my brain's learned and how I've accepted life. Like, maybe after cycling, I could maybe look like that. But like, for now, I need my legs to have muscles. I need to have bigger legs. I need my arms to be strong to support me on the bike. Like, and I've understood that. And I think it also helps with like what I said before, like the people around you. If they're like saying negative things or like have a negative spin on it, yes, you're obviously going to be like, oh, I shouldn't do this. And also, I've lost weight before and been skinny, and I've gone the worst I've ever been.
Exactly.
Like, I've gone so slow because I have no energy. I have not much muscle, and I'm just like, so like I have experienced that, and it wasn't great that I had to experience that. I think I lost like 5 kilos. Wow. I was like, but then I got off the line great, but in the third lap I was going backwards.
It's just like finding the balance, finding like the optimal,
and it's personal.
Yeah, really
like,
personal.
Everyone looks different. Like every athlete looks different. Because person has a different job. Like even in the road, like you have completely different body shapes and sizes and things like that, and that's fine.
Yeah, I think it was obviously it was quite a big topic in the Tour de France Femme between Demi and Pauline, and I think it was Demi that came out with kind of a comment basically saying that she's always going to put her health first. And even for people to kind of put these comments out there to Demi, when I think she is in like great shape. She looks great. She does not need to lose any weight. And I'm sure like she's, you know, one of the best road riders out there. She will be at her optimal. That is like the perfect power to weight for her.
Yeah.
And then people go and feel the need. I feel like sometimes it is like the media maybe in that kind of like pro cycling space that just keeps like throwing very unnecessary comments out there about the riders' weight and stuff, where, you know, they're very professional at this. They know what they're doing and what the optimal for them is.
But that could easily go the wrong way if you spoke to the wrong rider and asked them the wrong question. Like that could easily affect them, which is crazy. But also, women, our bodies are different to men. Like so we go through, we have periods, we have body changes, we have baby. Like our bodies are different, and I think that narrative around that isn't spoken about as much either. Like we hold fat in different areas.
Exactly,
that's fine.
Yeah.
When I'm on my period, I do feel a bit more bloated, or I eat more because I'm craving more things, and like that's fine. But like sometimes like that narrative and that way of life is not spoken about and almost hidden from.
Yeah, definitely. And talking about like periods and stuff, a few years ago I got diagnosed with PCOS. A very complicated topic, but basically one of the kind of symptoms is that your metabolism is really, really slow, basically doesn't work properly, and that causes you to put on weight as well. Okay. So I basically finished cycling and then had PCOS, so put on, obviously like struggling with my weight with that, and then with that as well I felt like I kind of put weight on more in my tummy.
Okay.
And I was getting comments like, am I pregnant? Like people commenting these things in the comments.
Honestly,
and I'm like,
why do
you
people
have
say
like
that?
no idea what someone's going through. Why do you feel the need to comment? And yeah, it's like you just don't know. And especially as women, like we have so much to deal with in our bodies. Like we're always changing. Something different is always going on. And I think we just need to be a little bit kinder to our bodies sometimes as well.
Yeah, definitely. How did you like deal with that in the like? Have you spoken about that much? Or is this is this the first time?
This is the first time I've ever spoken about having it. I think I haven't really spoken about it just because I still don't know everything to do with it.
Okay.
I feel like it's quite a complex thing to have, and I'm still sort of figuring it out and finding ways to deal with it. And there's so many sort of different symptoms that come with it. And I've also been a little bit scared because I feel like I'm like, I don't really know that many other people with PCOS, but maybe if I speak about it more openly, someone might, slide into my DMs and be like, I struggle with it, this has helped me, it might help you, that sort of thing. But
have you had any like role models like growing up in terms of like you see these sports women, or I guess now we've spoken about PCOS, like is there anyone like that you gravitate towards or like who's inspired you?
Do you know Grace Beverley? You might do. She has a clothing brand. She does a lot in like the fitness world. She's kind of opened up about having PCOS and kind of like, because there's so much information out there, and she's like dug into like proper like science. She's been really good. And I also love, in terms of like body positivity, Iona Ma, rugby player. I think she is so good and so refreshing and funny for the sport. So I think, those two are mine. What about you?
Emily Campbell's been big for me based off the Olympics. So she's an Olympic weightlifter, and she's spoken about body positivity and like not letting like it affect her. And I think I love that side of it because she is an elite athlete, and the weight she lifts, oh my gosh, like men can even she is so strong, and she looks amazing. And like people make the comments she get were horrendous, but she like obviously it will affect her, but like she came out about like how she loved what she looked like, and like her body does this, and I think that's amazing for the sport. And there's not many athletes that do speak about it, but there are more in this day and age, like rugby players, weightlifters, like even for us as cyclists, I think we're speaking about it more as women in sprint. But yeah, there is huge inspiration out there, and I think it is important as professional athletes in the sport to listen to them and
just set a good example as well for like, I guess when we were younger girls, if we had this sort of information and this knowledge about how our bodies, they don't need to look a certain way to kind of be accepted in sport, that it would have been a lot better. So
for sure, I wish I had. I mean, there were people out there, but like growing up, I don't know, someone should just say it's okay, like you, like your body is going to do amazing things, and you might look a bit differently to a normal person, but you're amazing. And I think now, hopefully as younger girls growing up, they realize that, because I nearly didn't go down the sprint route because of it. So I was like, And
how much would that have changed? I mean, you could have gone and been world champion, Olympic champion in another discipline, but still.
If I because of how the way I looked, or because I didn't want to stand on weighing scales and be the certain weight, imagine like
the opportunities you'd have missed out on.
And like
it's stupid,
I hope
isn't it?
Girls and young people listen to this, like it doesn't matter.
No.
It really doesn't matter what you look like, and your body will do
amazing things.
Honestly.
And it's capable of so much more than you think as well.
Very true.
We are delighted to be working with Rouvy on Watts Occurring Femmes, and we have a great offer for you. You can use promo code FEMMES, FEMMES, for an additional 30 days on top of the 7-day free trial.
This is applicable to new subscribers only.
Rouvy's on a mission to bring the indoors to the outdoors, connecting you with real routes from around the world to your home. And in the summer, you can utilise Rouvy to do specific training sessions or to hide from the heatwave.
Rouvy's new creator tool also allows riders to upload their favourite loops onto Rouvy. Everyone can easily convert their own video into a virtual route to ride at home. We've got some big plans with Rouvy over the next few months, so watch this space.
And remember to use the code FEMMES, FEMMES, for an extra month on us when you subscribe for the first time. Moving on, those of you who are watching on YouTube might notice we have a plate of Tim Tams in front of us.
We do.
And there is a story to this. A few episodes ago now, in the fan questions, someone asked if we prefer penguins or Tim Tams. And obviously it was an easy answer of Tim Tams. And you are quite the Tim Tam fan.
Yes, you have not done a Tim Tam Slam.
I have never heard of a Tim Tam Slam
So I'm
before.
going to demonstrate the Tim Tam Slam, and then you're going to do it afterwards. But yeah,
going to watch how the pro does it.
I'll show you how it's done. So the mic's going down, guys.
Yeah, the mic has to go down because Emma needs 2 hands to do this, but I will try and tell the story of the Tim Tam. So Emma has two different types of Tim Tams. You've got one with caramel and one just chocolate. She's gone for the chocolate one. She's biting the top of the Tim Tam. She's chewing that, getting that down nicely. I think in a second, just having a little giggle, she's going to bite the other end of the Tim Tam. Sorry, guys. Okay, so bitten the 2 ends of the Tim Tam. Oh no, Tim Tam everywhere. She has a nice warm cup of tea, milky tea, and now basically she's going to dunk. She can't do it. She can. Come on, Emma. This is the Tim Tam Slam World Championships. So she's putting the... This was never going to end well, was it? So you basically dunk one end of the Tim Tam into the tea, and then you try and suck the chocolate out the other end, which is, it's quite a tactical kind of... it's quite tactical to be able to do. There is a lot of talent involved in a Tim Tam Slam, and obviously Emma you're world champion in the Tim Tam Slam, aren't you? And
that's banging.
Oh, she's back.
That's
Thank
banging.
God for that.
Mate, that's unreal.
It looked quite messy. I'm a little bit scared.
Mate, your commentary, I couldn't deal with it. Oh, got me stressed. Right, she'll go now.
That was a lot.
I don't think I can comment on you. It's going to laugh too much.
I'm scared how this is going to go. Okay.
It's honestly, it's elite. Right, the mic's going down. She's got her, guys, she's got her peppermint tea. So I can't, she goes straight in. The peppermint tea, so I don't know how, mind you. The peppermint tea and the Tim Tam, not sure how that's going to go. So I can't comment on that yet. Initial taste, it's good, isn't it? Yeah. You gotta, yeah, okay. Sorry, I don't think I can commentate this. Is it working? Is it good? And then it kind of melts in your mouth. That's elite, isn't it? Wow, you did it so much more elegantly. Mate, you stitched me up with the commentary. I couldn't stop laughing. Isn't that great? Manon doesn't like tea, so...
That was genuinely so much better than I thought it was going to be. Have I got chocolate around my mouth?
No, you're good, you're good. It's quite messy though.
It is messy,
mate, mine was all over the gaff.
Like, it tastes nice coming through, and then because the chocolate's all melty, it tastes even better. That was so good.
See, there you have it. Tim Tam Slam.
Hopefully this has inspired everybody at home to go and do a Tim Tam Slam. A reminder that today's show is hosted by Pinarello, and we're lucky enough to be in the Wilmslow store today. And me and Emma actually both love riding our F-Series bikes, don't we, Emma?
We do.
We went on a ride recently together, didn't we?
The cafe ride was really, really fun. And I've actually ridden a lot more on the road since having my new bike. It makes such a difference.
Do you love it?
Yeah, I absolutely love it. The white on the road against the kit is amazing. It's such a dream to ride.
This is your start of you becoming a road rider in the future.
No, guys, don't worry about that. But it does make a huge difference having a nice bike and being able to go out. I think, yeah, it definitely makes it more enjoyable. It definitely makes you want to go out because you have this such a nice bike underneath you. And yeah, I do really enjoy it.
Don't just take our word for it. Head to your local Pinarello retailer and check out the whole range for yourself.
Search Pinarello store locator to find your nearest store.
Oh, I don't know how we move on from the TIM TAM SLAM. That was a lot, wasn't it?
That was a lot. That was a nice little snack.
It was. We needed that.
Are you going to eat your Tim Tams like that all the time?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
There you go. She's transformed.
Game changer.
You should try it with normal tea though. Okay.
Yeah, maybe. I'll give it a go. For you, Emma, I'll give it a go.
Thanks.
Anyway, we're now going to move on to some fan questions that we've had in. So, first one. How do you go about nutrition and fueling without falling into diet culture traps?
Ooh, that's a good question.
It is a very good question. I think you just need to focus on yourself because I feel like you can't fall into these traps because it's not the sort of thing that's one size fits all.
Yeah, it's really personal.
What might work for you won't work for me.
It is really personal, but how you get to that, you kind of have to figure that out yourself.
Yeah,
like what
definitely
works, what foods work, what do you enjoy more?
You still have to enjoy what you eat as well.
Oh yeah,
like
chicken and rice ain't gonna cut it.
Exactly. That's no way to live.
No. Yeah, and you'll figure that out as you go along, like the quantity and the weight. But ultimately, like you do need to enjoy what you eat, and colour
life is there to be enjoyed.
Key. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And if you want a Tim Tam, have a Tim Tam. And I think for me, massively, I've learned to, as I've grown up with the sport, that yes, I need to eat more protein as a sprinter. And I think that's translated a bit more to the road now. Like recovery is important, not just carbs. And yeah, it's definitely personal. Like what works for me might not work for you, or some sources of protein are like cans of tuna. I don't think I could eat that, but then I could
quite
eat
like tuna.
What's out the can?
Maybe a bit
Tin
of mayo.
Can? Oh, no.
Oh, no.
I say that I've actually got a tuna sandwich for lunch.
Have you?
But
I thought you were on lunch.
Yeah.
That's very organised.
But I can eat out of the tin. But yeah, you'll find out different sauces and
everything
like
in moderation as well. Like, do not get yourself down just because you've had like one bad day or one bad meal. Like,
no, 80. Have you heard the rule 80-20?
Yeah, 80-20.
I think a lot of people live like that, and it's true.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so the advice I'd give is just find out what works for you, and everything in moderation's fine. So
just don't fall down the traps. What can brands do better to promote body positivity? Which I think is a really good one in cycling, when I guess it's kind of, when you think of a cyclist, you're like, oh, skinny. And when you see like a lot of the clothing models, they're all on, well, not just in cycling, in like any form of kind of clothing, it's always on like really skinny size 0 models, where I think, have we seen a few brands actually move away from that and using lots of different types of bodies to promote their product? Yeah,
massively. Like you see brands use a range of size people to show off their product too. And I think because if you're shopping for a certain size and all you see is these smaller models wearing certain sizes, you don't know how that's going to fit on you, or you don't know how that's going to look on someone either bigger or smaller. And I think brands have got better at using like a different size people and different size models to show off their product. And I think that has definitely helped like today's society. And I think
also in cycling specific, we have women's only cycling clothing brands.
Yes.
And as well, brands that do men and women's clothing. Whereas when I first got into cycling, I had no idea what a women's chamois was. Why was it different? Why was a women's cut? Yeah, it was just, I remember it just being all the same.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, so you just rode a men's chamois?
It sounded like I got brought up in like in the
I
50s,
guess to be fair,
yeah,
it's quite like a niche thing. I guess you're just given what
you
got.
I didn't know. Like when you first get into cycling, I'm not like an expert on it. I had no idea what was right, what I should be using, even like the saddles and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's developed so much. Like we have saddle mapping, which is amazing. Like where you're comfortable on a saddle, and I guess if you're sitting on a saddle for like 6 hours, you have to be comfortable.
Oh God, yeah.
Because
it would be hell otherwise.
Yeah, that's whereas for us, I'm not on it for as long.
I know, but still, you like the amount of pressure
yeah.
that you put on when you're like sprinting as hard as you can. It's still
I remember Laura did like a project with Adidas on chamois and things like that.
Really,
but it's crazy how much technology is come on. So I think you need to be comfortable.
Definitely. And our last question: what do you wear for your menstrual cycle when cycling? I'm going to put out there the kind of cup has been like a game changer. I think they are so good, especially when you're cycling. I feel like cycling on your period can be a bit of a minefield because, you go out on a ride and maybe like if you don't use a cup and you need to stop at the toilet and, when you're out on a ride, there's not just public toilets everywhere that you can use. So it is difficult when you're a female, but also it's what you feel comfortable using. And
do you always use it? Like that's your literally good. You don't wear tampons or pads or anything. Just literally that. Yeah. Can you sleep with it?
Yeah. And you can wear it for so much longer than a tampon as well.
Yeah, I've many times I've worn tampons for way too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, horrendous. I think I don't enjoy I don't like tampons really. I don't like pads. Well, I don't mind pads, but I feel really uncomfortable. Like I've tried the cup and I hate it. So I think for me it sounds really grim, but sometimes when I'm on period and I'm cycling, we have a chamois and I just don't have anything. Yeah. Because I had the thought of sometimes this is really TMI, but if your tampon starts coming out, it's really painful. And especially
so sitting on the saddle.
Yeah, as sprinters, when I do standing starts or when I'm squatting, I'm squeezing everything I have, and it isn't comfortable. I've weighed myself on the bike before because of my pelvic floor and when I'm on my period, my body is what happens to your body? It's more softer, isn't it? Doesn't it No, I swear.
I don't know. Yeah.
I know. I swear when you're on your
idea.
period, it loosens up a bit.
Yeah, it could do. Yeah.
So I think, for me, I will wear a tampon if I have to, but it's when I'm cycling, nothing.
Yeah, that's really good. That you can speak openly about that, and if that works for you, then you do it. And
but especially the narrative to do with periods as well has changed around cycling, which is really good.
So good.
Oh, I'll openly speak about it. I put it in my training because
which is how it should be.
Yeah, it is how it should be.
I always wonder, if men had period, how different would the sport be? Would we be talking about it in commentary? Because it is such a big thing that your body goes through. And obviously it was great that Kim LaCour openly spoke about it in her interview when she was in yellow in the Tour de France Femmes.
Imagine men had periods.
Yeah, but wouldn't there'd obviously be a load more science done into it. I don't know. I always wonder that. Guess we'll never know.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Guess we'll never know.
They'll never know.
No. Well, that's our fan questions for this week. If anybody does have any more questions, drop us a DM.
Yeah,
we're
happy to answer as best as we can.
Yeah, we'll do our very best. But until next time, Emma.
Hoi about.
So nicely synced.